Hello. You still remember me, right? Well, the last few months have been very busy because I was literally expending everything that I am into, so I didn't actually got time to schedule and all that stuff. And now we are so back. So today I'm gonna share my traumatic experience working with Indian freelancers because I started again working with Indian guys after a gap of 4 full years because I wasn't actually getting that kind of talent here. But now with so many freelancers in the market, I thought okay, let us give our guys a try. And I got a reality check again, like why I actually stopped working with Indian freelancers. And the reasons are crazy, and I'm going to tell you those crazy reasons. And number one is people here are blindly chasing money. So imagine, I was hiring for a content writer. So I went on the call. I took out full 30 minutes from my schedule. And I'm telling the other person what I'm looking for, how his day is going, and all that stuff that usually how the calls go. All of a sudden, there is nothing about my project, nothing about how he can help. It straight up comes, well, how much are you gonna pay me? How much am I gonna pay you? You dumb idiot, you didn't even listen to me. What I actually want, what I am looking for what I am in the market. And you are here asking, how much is the money? For you, it is zero. Actual budget was 60K. But yeah, for you, it is zero. Because you asked this stupid ass question in the first place. And then later on, the guy I hired, well, I hired him because he actually asked good questions. He knew his stuff. The only difference is he was from Philippines. So this Filippo guy was far better because I couldn't find that crowd here. Now, okay, say whatever you want. Say I don't know how to hire. I don't know whatever the hell you think that I might be at fault. Okay, all right. I don't care about your opinion. The second major issue is the skill set issue. And skill set issue are of two types. One is that you know and you are getting better at it. One is you don't have an actual clue what you are actually doing. And number two was what I encountered the most. There was no goddamn focus on the skill set. The whole focus is how can I just take money from this person and come up with chat GPT briefs because they think I have buttons here. I do not have any eyes. So I definitely don't know like how chat GPT writes. Like chat GPT has such an interesting lingo that no one else can actually catch it. That this was written by GPT or a human. The vocab of chat GPT, I've told it again and again. If you are that dumb that you are simply control C, control V and you think you can fool a person like me who has spent like almost 7 years now. You are making a fool of yourself because you are actually a fool. So you are not even making yourself a fool. You are a fool. After these two issues, I was pretty much sure that I'm not gonna find the talent here. So what I did was, I just, hunted for a day or two more. I just searched for people. And then luckily I found one or two. How many was there? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I found 3 guys who were good at talking, who I thought that they might be good at what they are talking about and what they are doing. Well, guess what? Who was wrong? Because when I asked them for a sample, a paid sample, and the pay was above market rate, a very, very much above market rate. It was literal 2 to 3x of the market rate. You know what I am receiving? Well, yeah, nothing. The deadline was 24 hours. Up until 72 hours, no one actually showed up. And that's where people like me who are paying above the market rate, we figure out that we don't want to work with this crowd. Because if you do not adhere to the time limit, the chances of you screwing up a particular client that I take on and I just delegate their work to you are very high. You are gonna screw the whole thing up, and because of you, who will look like a fool? Me, and I do not want to look like a fool because I'm not a fool. I'm good at what I do. That's why I am here. That's why almost 1,000 people are listening to me now, despite my consistency being so high. And tell me one thing, who has taught you to ask for 100% advance when you have just started out in the first few months? Like, why am I even going to pay you the advance when I have people who are doing the job better than you, faster than you, who have more experience than you, who are good at what they do, who have verifiable recommendations, and they are asking for a 50% advance? You, on the other hand, completely fresh, no prior experience. I have to put in my efforts. I have to put in after hours in explaining you things. I cannot expect that kind of result from you. Even then, I'm willing to take a shot and you need 100% advance. It's not that I can't pay you that. It's just that you have not shown me any of the 3 particular reasons why we actually release out advances. So let me tell you how And what is the psych behind a client when he pays in advance? You pay advance to only those guys who are really good at their work, or they are real fast at their work alongside maintaining the quality, or they have verifiable recommendations, or they have recommendations of some sort that actually backs up their work. Those guys are the ones who get advance payments. If you do not have any of the three and you are asking for an advance of more than 20%, you are just making yourself look like a fool, which in most cases you are a fool. And even after all this stuff, one guy finally made it to the very final round where I was actually like, okay, I'm gonna just go ahead with this guy. So he sent me the draft. I asked him to do a few revisions, and that's where the whole thing fell apart. The rigidity that you do not want to adapt. That because the Indians, the thing is, and this is a big difference between Indian people and people abroad, basically in the US, UK, and in the CIS region. If you tell those guys that you did this thing and it could have been done in this way, so they will say that this was their thinking behind doing this. And if you feel like it needs to be changed, we will change it. But we just want to tell you what we did. You tell an Indian guy that you did this and it could have been done in this way, they would give their all, their 100%, maybe 200% in telling and proving themselves right. Whereas it's not in a service-based industry, it's not about proving yourself right. In a service-based industry, it is about the client being satisfied. So even if a client is dumb enough to not see your big plethoric vision, even after having a $1,000 business, even not multi-million-dollar business, just $1,000 business, he's earning 10,000, 20,000. Do you really think the client is dumb? Who is dumb in this situation? Like in my experience, no shit has changed over the last 6 years. In 2019, when I was hiring, these problems were there. In 2024, when I am hiring again, these problems are still there. So what does it mean? Does it mean that there are not good people in the market? It is not that. The problem is that people are good here in India as well. I have a lot of people who are working alongside me in the global teams who are basically from India. The problem particularly lies in the industries and the niches. Because I am in Web3, so it's about cryptocurrency, blockchain, decentralized finance, NFTs, dApps, real world assets, and all that kind of technical stuff. Here, finding that quality is extremely hard. It's actually hard in the overseas regions as well. But if you look at the quality of other guys or the other friends that I have who are, doing ghostwriting, social media management and all that, that's good. So this particular experience of mine is based on one particular sector. And now from that, can you say all the freelancers are like that? No, that's actually difficult. But in 2018, 2020, when I was doing the hiring again for general things, even at that time, people were there. So in a nutshell, if I have to tell you what is the scenario, as per my understanding, out of 100, 15 people are good at what they do. They are really good at it. They have all the green flags. They check every box that a client needs. But 85 here are from the Instagram reels where some pretty girl with her very, you know what I'm talking about, the glamour. And then they are just coming in here that, okay, ma'am will make us money. Ma'am will just take your money and vanish into thin air. Ma'am doesn't give a shit about you. And neither do I. Honestly, can't help yourself, don't even expect help from me. I do not give a shit about any other guy and how much they are being exploited and all that stuff. Now, I've given enough shit for the last 6.5 years. Well, that brings me to a major announcement. I have made the free freelancing course paid now. I have added a lot of modules to it. It has been updated as per the current trends. Also, I've started hosting weekly webinars and master classes where I just go on a call with people who are in my inner circle. So those calls are real long. They're supposed to be of 1 hour, but they last 2 or 3 hours until everyone's problem is solved, because I am a believer of one-to-one approach rather than telling a group solution. So that takes time. If you want to be in my inner circle, you are more than welcome. Because if you are not in my inner circle, who do you think has more to lose? Because I have kept the subscription real low. It's a real low. Like it's at the cost of a pizza, of a medium-sized farmer-style pizza. Yeah, if I'll be real specific. If you want to get into my inner circle, please do, because you will have a walking cheat code right by you. I have seen enough of the shit in the industry for the last 7 years, and I have been where you are, and even at worse condition where you were. I am the guy who have literally exhausted his whole emergency fund and build it again, and now I have emergency fund for good years and all that stuff. So I know what it takes. And if you are serious about it, then I don't think the subscription cost is going to matter to you, because anyways, you are going to recover at least 100x or 10x of it. That's fairly easy, right? So that's up to you. And do not expect me to do the limited time period shit or please get in, please get in. No. The less the people, the better for me, because I'm not gonna get rich from 10 or 20 or 30 people who are paying me 700 rupees. My hourly rate starts at $100. So in case you are wondering this is for money, no, this is for my time that I'm giving to people who are actually serious about their thing. I am done with giving absolute solid value for free. Have done enough. These videos, I don't know how consistent I'm gonna be, but every time you saw my free content, every time you see any video of mine that is out there without you paying, if you implement it, you're gonna make money, and you're gonna make big money. That's it. So I'm the kind of guy that who is, if you at your side, you're gonna conquer, because that's the mentality I have. I do not associate with losers. So now it's up to you whether you want to be a loser or a winner. You have to choose a side, which side you want to be on, and just stay the same for the rest of your life.